Hey guys, this is the Master Debater, and today I'm going to be doing a tips and tricks kind of video for Starcraft 2. And this is just going to be some of the very basic things dealing with Starcraft 2. I mean, I'm sure most of you already know about this, but I might make a series that gets more complex and maybe deal with builds and stuff. But today I'm just going to be starting off with some of the less known, but fairly basic tricks that there is to StarCraft. Okay, so first of all, there's going to be the 1v1v1 split. So what you do is if you spam F1 and then just click on the mineral patches, this not only looks fairly impressive, but also I don't know about efficiency, but it just looks really cool. And one second. Okay, so that's one trick right there. It's actually probably more efficient to do the 3 split, but I might just show that later because it's somewhat harder to do. But another important aspect of this game, I don't know if this is really, it's just basically a key factor of this game, is the control group option, which is where if you click here and then click or hold down control and press a number, you could assign that unit to the number so that they are so whenever you hit that number, that's what they become. And when you double tap, you're automatically centered on that unit, building, whatever. So this is one of the key factors to playing the game as hotkeys are, which leads me to my third point: hotkeys. This isn't really a hotkey thing, but what you want to do is to make the game much easier to play. What you want to do is you want to display the build grid, always show unit bars, and then I don't know, there's an option to show display command hotkey text. This is extremely useful when you're learning hotkeys, and then these things are just making it easier for you to focus on your game and macro and micro instead of holding down Alt to see your unit thingies, unit bars, health bars. So finally, just for the basics, another key thing, well, not really key, it's just really useful in my opinion, is the control click option, where if you control click, you'll select every single unit in that selection. And this just is useful for if you have a group of units and you want to select a certain type of unit to deal specific damage. Like, for instance, if you want all your High Templar to cast Storm, or if you want your Colossus to focus down something, your Immortals to focus down the armored units, then control group can be extremely useful. Okay, so another really cool thing you could do in the game is something called the screenshot. Now what you do is to set it up, I mean there's already set up, but they're actually pretty hard to take. So if you go into the hotkeys option, you'll see the okay, one second. Okay, maybe you can't do it here, but there's an option to set your screenshots and hotkeys. But basically what you do, I set it as Shift F1 to screenshot here. So I find this particularly useful for Zerg, but it can be useful if you don't hotkey your nexuses or production units together. But if I hit F2, I'm gonna automatically center on my my screenshot area, which will help me, I don't know, it helps me move. Instead of having to go here and click on the minimap, I could just hit F2 and I'm automatically at my base. And this is just something to help when you have issues dealing with I don't know, sorts of harass. You could help minimize probe losses or worker loss, and it's also kind of useful for other things. I don't know, like maybe if you wanted screenshot here if you have towers or something like that. I don't know, it's up to you. As many of you know, I'm fairly certain many of you know anyways, that Stalkers move faster than Zealots. So this could often lead to micro problems, as you want your Zealots to be in front so they could tank the damage. So a neat trick, if you're moving out across the enemy's area, if you just control click your Stalkers and then maybe shift click this thingy, the sentry, and then right click on your Zealots, then your Zealots then your units will simply follow your zealots, and your zealots will generally stay in front. I mean, there's a little bit of clumping, but your zealots will largely stay in front, and that should help you deal with the issue of zealot failure. So, I also have another I've expanded, as you can see, and so this is where screenshots can come. If I hit F2, I go to my main base. If I hit F3, I go to my expansion, and this can come in useful if you're trying to macro and I don't know, you have weird issues with macro, or I mean it's just useful like in general. And then another neat trick would be backspace. If you have multiple units, or I mean, actually I don't even think you need to have your nexuses selected or your hatcheries or whatever. If you hit backspace, you will automatically cycle through your main bases. Just a neat little trick. And then third, or I don't even know what tip I'm on, but another tip would be the A move tip. This is probably one of the more essential tips in this game. What you do is you hit A, and then if you click right or left click on an area, then your units will move there, and they will automatically attack anything that is in that direction. So, say for instance, somebody tries to ambush you along the way, then they won't be able to do it. And I mean, it's really useful to like not let your units just be utterly destroyed by some retarded thingy, some retarded misclick. And then another useful trick would be the moving things across the map in formation. So as you notice here, your units will tend to clump up as they move, especially if you do that. So I'm just gonna take these guys out for now. So if you say want to move in a concave, which you often want because that gives you the tactical advantage, what you could do is you could spread your ranged units out beforehand, and then as you can see here, they're just gonna clump up if I click right there. However, if you spread them out and then set up the concave, and then if you click far on the map, they will generally keep their formation up to a certain point. Like right here, they're starting to clump again, but this is more useful for going traversing. Like if I go this way, they're gonna, okay, never mind, they're gonna split around this. But I mean, the general idea is that they will tend to largely stick in formation. Obviously, traversing across the entire map will force them to clump anyways, but whatever. And then finally, I'm going to be dealing with some Blink micro as soon as Blink finishes, which I never started apparently. So 1 second. Alright, so the final tip for today is going to be dealing with Blink. What I'm going to be doing is showing you an effective method for Blink. As I'm sure many of you noticed, whenever you blink, you have a tendency to not blink all your units up. However, if what you do is if you have vision of the high ground like I do, if you right click right here, click bleed, and then move here, okay, that failed. Sorry, but what you do is if you're say here, oh crap, okay, I don't have vision anymore. 1 second. Basically, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and right click on where you want to go first, and then you're gonna hit B, you're gonna left click here, and then you're gonna hold shift and move again. So what this will do is your units will what your units will do is that they'll God, rally points. What they'll do is they'll walk to the location first and then blink individually up as soon as they get to that location right there. And what they'll do is they will blink one by one up. I must get vision. Okay, so see and then they'll keep moving so the other stalkers have room to blink. And this works less with extremely large units, but I mean that's the general gist of it. It should work if you have smaller units of stalkers, or I don't know if you want to do whatever you I don't know if it just looks cool too. But I mean, if you want to get the majority of your stalkers up there, but the only problem is it takes time to set up, so this is more for harassment than blink micro. And that's gonna be the end of my tips for today. If you find this video useful in any way, please like or comment or subscribe, or hell, just watch the video. Anything would help. But tell me, also leave a comment if you can, if you want any more of these videos. I am also well aware that my gameplay was not very good this game. Somewhat distracted by the tutoring factor of it. So if you want more of these games, just comment and say you want more. I hope you guys find this useful. Almost forgot. The hotkey that we were talking about earlier is under global, something I failed to, to miss. It's under camera, and it's create location. You could assign these to whatever you want, just make sure not to assign it to something that's already existing. And then you could use it to jump around the map based on your screenshot location. Just a useful little trick that I picked up on the Team Liquid forums. It's actually pretty useful for watching key locations and, of course, macroing your different bases.